because it was all about relationships and understanding who the kids were. You know, it wasn't about content at that point, because they weren't open to.
Is that why you prefer teaching here at college instead of at high school? Because high school is more curriculum driven?
Yeah, somewhat. They've always given me the option here, which is a real free sort of atmosphere for what I want to do. And so I worked at that school for, probably, which seemed like a long time at the time. I was in my 20s, it seemed like a long time, but it was only 2 years. But it seemed like a long time. And it was very intense because I had to know the kids very well, I had to know the parents very well, and had to deal with conflict and all sorts of stuff. And so at the end of 2 years, I was going, geez, I need a break. I need to. And so there was a temporary job here at the campus for 6 months. And it just involved me going in and fixing up, ordering the speech communication library, putting the books in order.
Right.
I did that in a day. And then so I had 6 months of doing nothing. So I just basically offered my help to people here. They needed some help. I'd come to class, I'd help them out. And one guy used me in the classroom. It was in adult basic education classes. And I got to know him, and so when the 6 months up, he said, "You want to come and teach here?" And I said, "Yeah, I think that'd be fun, And so he got me teaching some basic classes, but what he had in mind was for me to organize an adult high school, completion program. So he wanted to have a program where people who had been out of high school for a while, right,
To go back and get
could come back and get their diploma, but also get college credits. So they had to start at a college program. And I was someone at the time that I was really a generalist, because I liked studying science, I liked studying philosophy, I liked studying all this stuff. So that worked out very well, because he had me create a program with 10 courses, history and social science, a number of different courses. And so I created that, but it was basically, the initial idea was to make it sort of an independent study. So I'd be in a room like this, and my students would come in, and they'd have a textbook and stuff to do, and it didn't feel like teaching to me. It just, it just didn't feel like it. So what I started doing was, okay, you're 10 separate classes, but I'm going to choose a book that you all read that basically relates to everyone and might relate to our society. And then we'd have weekly seminars where they'd read a chapter and they would come in and talk about it. And that just changed the whole program, because they started getting to know each other better, and all of a sudden started feeling like a community. And so that had a lot of appeal for me. That's where I started realizing that teaching and learning is about a community, whether we know it or not, and how we create that community in schools or in classes, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that was the start of working here.